Seems we're reading from part 2. We're reading a book, Far Beyond the Field, by Makoto Ueda, Ueda. We're reading female Japanese haiku poets. We just read Den Sutejo. And our connecting poem was a poem we read in part 1. Is adorned with raindrops from the shower, a sparkling princess, Zalia. And next poem is by the millet ears. How insignificant they look. Lady flower seeds. By the millet ears, how insignificant they look. Lady flower seeds. I guess seeds aren't going to look very significant, are they? Mm-hmm. Especially small ones. But they can become.
And imagine all that they hold.
It's amazing what a seed can become. That's an amazing thing about seeds. A little packet of seeds. We should buy seeds. We could just say that they're about to become. By the millet ears, how insignificant they look. Lady flower seeds.
What's a lady flower?
What's a lady flower? We'll have to do a research into what the flowers look like. Are we publishing
flowers in Japanese poetry?
Haiku book on Japanese haiku poetry with illustrations? With the flowers.
Of the Japanese poetry.
But are we taking the photos ourselves or stealing them? They're stealing them from Google. I thought we were going to Japan and getting them. Oh, you're saying, we'll get public domain photos. We'll paint them? You'll work that out. Alright, let's go on. That's a nice poem. Would that the cuckoo of old, what they mean is the hototogisu, would that the cuckoo of old would let fall its cry, even as this old rain keeps falling. It says, would that the cuckoo of old would let fall its cry, even as this old rain keeps falling. Wait, would that the cuckoo of old would let fall its cry? Does that mean it continues or stops? Even as this old rain keeps falling, it stops? She says, Nagasi Taya Samidai no Furu Hototogisu. That's the famous bird. It's, you think those birds are still singing over there? They must still have them. How are we going to find a hototogisu? This comes from the collection of Hisamatsu and Emoto.
You know why they could call them kookaburra?
Why?
Because they got
They said they make some sound that sounds like reminiscent of I forgot what it was, something Buddhist. Here's another poem. New Year's soup. I make 1,000 shavings of dried bonito. 1,000 shavings. That's like your mom when she's making a leaf. What does she make? She makes stuffed grass leaves. And, or she,
My mom Indian should also like.
it's 1,000 shavings?
No, I don't know what's mean by the same.
She has New Year's soup. I make 1,000 shavings of dried bonito.
That sounds like Spanish for me.
It's funny she doesn't say, she doesn't, they doesn't provide footnotes on what a bonito is. Though she does provide the Japanese and the source from the Furuya. And you could say it's the Zoni ni ya Chiro no Kasu Kaku Hana Gatsuyo.
Maybe it's something that's saved, so.
You're gonna have to go to Japan. So. Where are we gonna get all the money? You don't need money, I guess they could find them on Google.
Yeah, we go in the monastery and pretend to be priests.
We go into a monastery and pretend to be priests? Why don't we go to that temple in Flushing and pretend to meditate for a few hours? We could just pretend. It might be more sincere to pretend than actually try. Why can't you just, why do you have to become something? Just go there and sit and meditate for 20 minutes.
No, if we are in Japan and we are priests, they give us food for free.
For priest?
You said
free.
You don't need money.
Usually nothing comes free. Like they'll say, nothing comes free. They'll say, oh, you can become Zen students, but here you have to go clean the hoe the garden and sweep the floor.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
We have slave work or slavery. They have places you can go visit, like a Zen temples and stuff in Japan. They're like tourist attractions.
You should have to have one.
You need money. We need money.
Anyway, the poetry takes a leap in Japan.
I'm sure we could find some beauty without the money. Anyways, last night's bloom, lasting into this morning, snow on the trees. How did this happen? The bloom lasted into the morning.
What's a bloom?
Bloom, like the flowers in bloom. Last night's bloom, lasting into this morning. Snow on the trees. Even.
Maybe the flowers look like snow on the tree. And this is just comparing them with visions of snow.
Now we have, is there a shortcut through the clouds? Summer moon. She's asking the moon, or what she is. She says question mark. Is there a shortcut through the clouds? Summer moon. Interesting how, how the moon like passes between the clouds and the clouds come, and then it seems like the moon is like traveling between the clouds in a way when the clouds pass. Yeah, so she's asking the moon if it knows a shortcut. Huh? At the same time, she's looking for the inner moon. She's looking at to tell her her shortcut to spiritual enlightenment. With the inner moon, she sees it for the summer moon. who knows? But here, I don't know what the word for the moon is. Goodness, we're quite bad at Japanese. We have extensive lack of erudition in Japanese. Extensively erudite, non-erudite. Anyways, let's see here. Where's the moon? No idea. Do you paint your eyebrows using water for a mirror? Riverside willow. She's asking the tree. Do you paint your eyebrows using water for a mirror? Riverside willow.
Because the willows, they fall into the water.
The willows are always hanging over the water, right? So she's wondering if the willow's painting its eyebrows using the water for a mirror. Now, is that kind of reflecting on her consciousness? Let's see, here again in haiku you have the poet projecting their feelings onto the tree somehow. Does she paint her eyebrows? She must paint her eyebrows or she wouldn't be thinking of painting her eyebrows. So my theory is she paints her eyebrows. The person where is a woman haiku poet called Den, D-E-N, S-U-T-E-J-O, Sutejo. The next poem is Gale in the Mountains. Watch how the fallen blossoms carpet the water. There's a gale in the mountains. Watch how the fallen blossoms carpet the water.
What's a gale?
Wind. A strong wind. Like a rather big wind.
So there's lots of blossoms in there.
Yeah, the wind is blowing. Gale in the mountains. Watch how the fallen blossoms carpet the water. Yeah, they love to do that. They watch, all they do is, if you read all these poems, the Japanese must want to just go look at blossoms all spring long. They're brainwashed into looking at blossoms by their literature. Yeah. So you have to read all of these haiku poems before you go to look at the cherry blossoms, right?
No, probably. Today I'm going with all watch the blossoms.
But I would prefer to have read in advance. My poem says, I would prefer to have read in advance Basho before I go to Japan. I would prefer. Huh? Why wouldn't you prefer? We're reading from a translation of, it's called Far Beyond the Field. So, Japanese Women Haiku Poets, Part 2.